Timbersaw.
That's a great Timber pick.
Is it though?
Yeah?
I think there's right now their supports are very good versus Timber.
Isn't like Ench is nice with impetus, but she's you want her in the 4, right? So I mean, if you're laning Grimstroke Tiny against Timber, doesn't he just kind of like destroy that lane?
I mean, the laning stage should be fine. Like, I think Tiny in general doesn't get destroyed. Like, you're not gonna win, and Timber will get fat, and there is a chance Timber can go out of control this game. But it's really annoying to play Timbersaw into mass stun and especially silences.
Yeah.
Grimstroke, like, if you ever throw your Chakram out and he silences you, you can't bring it back. So you're just chilling. It's very, very sad for Timbersaw. So,
Yeah.
like, it is, in a way, the laning stage is good for Timber, but it's not like a free Timber game. He's just going to run it over because there's like 4 strength heroes with low stuns, right? Undyings and stuff in the game. So we'll see how he plays it. It could be potentially strong. It's just really up to just execution, I think.
I respect that idea, actually, yeah.
What are a last pick that Execration's looking for that maybe Boom wanna ban?
You need something that's okay getting ganked at least, because like one strength of Timbersaur, he can be left alone.
Mm-hmm.
So Shaman will get to just roam around the map, and you need to be ready for that.
Boom should ban Bob/Rack, in my opinion. Bat and Lesh, I think, are the 2 bans on the table here.
Yep. And for Boom, what would you like to see them get as their last overall pick?
Well,
So much.
Looks like a really nice Yopaj Snapfire game, if I do say so myself.
Do you say that? And I actually can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
I'm not being sarcastic.
Okay. It was the tone of voice. I'm like, is she being sarcastic here?
Sorry, I just speak words
I
sometimes. and
speak
funny. Excuse me.
Wyvern mid.
No. That's moons only. Moon only.
Why not?
No, I don't want it.
She just doesn't want it,
I
okay?
don't want it.
It makes a lot more sense in this game, though.
I swear to God, I want to see Execration just take Ember and get Snapfired. That's what I want. This is bias. I'm being
That is,
biased.
yeah.
They have
Fair
to.
enough.
That's what I want.
They have to ban Leshrac, right? Like,
I hope
there's
so.
no other ban here.
Leshrac gets banned, then what shall Execration pick up? Shall, should? Both? What shall they pick up? They don't even ban the Lesh.
I think they should Lesh right here, right now.
Okay.
I would.
Very, very strong fact, just because Bob is such a good Lesh.
Even more stuns and nice
His first
magic
Timber
game.
Saw, too. Like,
Yeah.
you have your Timber answer right there. One of the best Timber answers you can possibly get.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't want to do that, pick Shadow Fiend, have fun. I don't know.
So Bob's insane on Leshrac. You think it's a really good matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still ticking through their time, not
They're-
picking it up.
You gotta you
That's
gotta
just
take your time.
yeah.
You don't want to rush it through. Maybe they're
No,
considering
insta-lock it.
like.
Insta-lock Leshrac Execration.
Maybe Bob's like, guys, I can Huskar this, guys.
It's a Viper, Pugna. I'm just giving random examples. They need something more for Timber. Might as well. It's really nice when your mid can just rotate over and kill the Timber Saw. Makes a lot of space for your Tiny or whoever's your carry to like come back into the game, and it gives a very clear purpose for the mid on what they need to do in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, Timber Saws get really farmed, so they're kind of like a pinata down there. Just if you can kill them.
Okay. So there's a few options you wouldn't mind seeing on them then.
I mean, Lash is by far the best, so I hope they go for
But
that.
also just insta-lock Lesh.
Yeah, I mean, OD was good too versus Timber, right? So they did try and cover the Timber, but
Mm-hmm.
he decided that Bat and OD were his worst matchups on Timber, and he probably has a plan against Leshrac to at least mitigate it.
Maybe if they Leshrac the. Oh, actually, never mind. I was gonna say we could possibly see like a Yopaj Puck, but I would be
Lena?
scared into DK.
I mean, that's also good versus Timber. It's another hero that can go down there and kill the Timber. It's not as much damage as a Leshrac would be, but it is safer for the game and definitely better versus the Gyrocopter being able to attack from long range. So, kind of fits the bill. It's good enough, and it's maybe their reasoning is that Lena has less counter matchups, so if they pick it here, no matter what Boom picks here, Lena doesn't really lose the lane, so they're
Very
putting
true.
a heavy emphasis on the laning stage, I guess, as they said in their interview.
Yeah, that's something you guys always bring out when Alina's picked out, is that when it comes to laning phase, there's not a lot of things that can beat her.
So sad. What can you do?
Love it. I'm a big Lena fan.
Yeah, that puts your last pick. You're supposed to have last pick of the game, like the gotcha pick on Boom here. And when you pick a Lena like that, you just kind of be like, you're on defensive mode now instead of being offensive. So probably what they're going for, and it's always not fun having the last pick in Alina. Your options feel incredibly limited. But I am very excited to see what Yopaj will play versus Alina, because I see everyone crumble.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of his hero pool, and I see problems for all of them. Like, okay, Puck, but then there's the Dragon Knight. His Wind Ranger, but then there's the Enchantress. His I don't know what the Snapfire Lina matchup's like. I can't imagine it's that great considering
Trade farm
she likes
probably,
the,
but
yeah.
Lina will, if anyone wins, it's Lina, but that's like
Probably.
most all matchups.
Yeah, there's like a
TA's,
Queen.
Devand.
She's gone. Queen's still in the pool.
That's awful for Lina, I think.
Sad. It's Lina. Dude, I
Yeah.
hate Lina. Trying to come up with last picks against Lina is just the most miserable thing in the entire world.
Yeah, they're thinking about it.
100%.
Like, Kunkka's gone. That's sad. Invoker's gone. It's kind of annoying when, both teams want to last pick the same role, because then just, everything crumbles.
I don't even need to guess. We'll just. Oh
Yes!
my, they did it!
Give it to me! Oh, I'm so happy!
You predicted it. It is
I didn't predict it. I willed it into existence. That's how much I wanted it.
okay. Well, I really want Lyrical and GoDz to get in here and give me their thoughts about this. The Yopaj Snapfire, we've seen it a few times. GoDz, what do you think of it?
It's a lot of fun. This guy usually pops off and goes like 19, 20 kills or something. The hero falls off though, so you need to have that super early mid game explosion from Yopaj.
Lyrical, do you have faith that Boom are going to close it out early before that snap falls off?
I think so. I just think that this guy's so freaking good on this hero in particular. And you pick up those boots of travel, you got a blink dagger, you start running around killing everybody. Like, how are you going to deal with that? He just seems so strong.
Now that we've had two other opinions for you guys, who do you think is taking game one?
You just have to say
I'll give you a
Boom.
second to think about it, Cheap, just in case you needed it.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. Boom.
I mean, I think Boom will win just because they're better, but I think Tims and Yopaj have a lot of work cut out for them because they're very limited on stuns in this game. So
Okay.
putting a snap mid with Rasta Shadow Shaman is your only stun.
Mhm.
Tims has got to pop off this game.
Execration gotta win though to stay out of relegation. So good luck, my man.
I'm going to keep bringing it up every time. This is the first game for the do or die for Execration, but Lyrical and GoDz, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Nat. Parker, I was thinking about it, and the one thing that I really do like about this Execration draft is just Dragon Knight. This hero seems incredibly broken to me. You get a blink dagger, you get your shard. It's 80 damage per second on this enormous AoE. It takes up the whole freaking screen, it feels like. And every time you try and walk out, you get stunned again. Sorry, I'm just reliving my recent pubs. It's terrible.
I think DK benefited more than any other hero in the game with the shard change to 15 minutes, just because it's a hero that there's no obvious items you need to be. You're naturally tanky because you're a strength hero with a bunch, with Dragon's Blood. You can get it before your BKB. You can go blink shard into BKB, and if you're mid and you're getting a lot of farms, sometimes you can go BKB shard and have that around 16 to 18 minutes anyway. So DK loving this new patch.
Yeah, and I think that there was a while where he was sort of moving up the tier list and is now starting to get first phase picked, first phase ban, and it is very, very good stuff. A little bit of shout outs there to Tino as well, coming from the Boom squad. Love to see it.
Kuya Tino, showing their respects. Of course, Tino, the carry player for Boom last season, so they obviously know him well. It's good to see. Obviously, for Tino, bummer he's not on Boom. I'm sure he'd love to still be on Boom right now. But it's always hard when you have those roster changes, and it's good to see there's no meanness between the teams. Same time, I'm sure Tino, if there's one series Tino wants to show up for, it's this one. This dude is he's had an up and down tour. He's adjusting to playing the off lane. He's traditionally been a carry player, even if he wanted to switch to off lane in the past. He's had some great games, and then he's had some iffy games. So I hope we see Tino show up and really take it to Boom.
It would be cool. And he's definitely the hero that makes it happen. The panel was talking about, do we pick this Leshrac next? They ended up going for the Lina, which is some nice follow-up. You could do it with either of those heroes after the stun. Or it's, LSA, follow-up, Laguna Blade, dead. Everybody's gone. But the other thing that sort of is interesting to me is part of what stands out in this game is going to have to be the other offlaner. FBZ playing on his Timbersaw. It's a hero that he does occasionally like to play and absolutely owns on it. And, you know, you can maybe come online before that Blink Dagger's even there for the DK.
Yeah, I think that is a bit of a worry. I think last time Tina played DKX went Hood as well before Blink, and it really slowed down his timing, so I don't want to see any kind of Hood to deal with the magic damage from Gyro and Snapfire as much as it feels nice. I think ultimately these heroes will kill you if they won't throw enough spells, Hood or no Hood, so I hope he tries to rush that Blink because, yeah, there's going to be a lot of pressure on him. With the Enchantress, I'm hoping that's enough to kind of secure his lane because, yeah, otherwise things can start to look rough for Tina.
Started off with the range creep deny, certainly a good way to make it happen. And yeah, Shank's already taking the early point impetus, so not opting for any of the picking up the super broken jungle creeps early at least.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see if that changes, but I imagine, yeah, Skem's just going to keep blocking that camp. You know, 1 minute mark, no big camp for you. There's still the small camp, but just the kobold spawning there, so not the best creep in the small camp either for Shank, so does seem like he's just going to be gluing himself to the lane, throwing out those impetuses for now. Impeti? Is that the plural of impetus?
I don't think... Is there one? You only get plural when you get the egg, and you got Sproink.
Yeah.
Aren't you the Ench, like, you know, sort of be-all, end-all knower? Isn't that what's going on here?
I don't know what you're talking about. Don't Google it, viewers. Don't do it to yourselves.
Well, it's something to keep in the back of everybody's head there. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to watch. Ooh, FBZ. Thought they might have tried to go there, but
Vincenzo
damage.
yeah.
Getting first blood?
Yeah.
Not bad. Tim's drawing it.
Did get the 2-hero Inkswell stun, but it came right after he went down. Classic Shaman. Seeing Shaman secure kills with Aether Shock is just, I feel like that's such an iconic Shaman play.
Well, and first blood also, like, Tim's gets off to a hot start here, can get into some solid items. Like, this is going to be a really dangerous lane. Like, if you can get towards Arcanes, FBZ gets the regen constantly. Already could be tough, but might be even worse.
Yopaj styling with some last hits mid, gets the deny, secures his own last hit. He's currently winning this mid lane. His mid Snapfire, the mechanics is what always stands out when I watch him play this mid snap. And he uses this early level 6. It just feels like to get kills every time his ultimate's up, he's using it somewhere on the map. So, you know, he'll win his lane and then just put his team in this great position with this fast boots of travel and this kind of global threat of the Mortimer's Kisses.
Right. Well, and it is going to be interesting to watch because I remember, you know, sort of hearing about the way that Boom play this, and oftentimes what happens is like Yopaj is the one that's playing aggressive, and you can still play aggressive. There's a lot of damage there. Again, so he heads out of there. But it feels like it's sort of a little bit of a different way. Then it's FBZ that sort of takes over the mantle of the more aggressive, get in the mix of everything, as opposed to like just Yopaj on a spear hero. But he's more like there for the follow-up, it feels like.
Bob.
It's Bob.
Yeah, he's really fighting this one out, but there's a Fairy Fire on Yopaj. He's kind of baiting there. Like, Bob has a Mango and could Dragon Slave, but Yopaj is ready for it. Winning the regen battle for now.
Good salve afterwards, but able to take it off and get some pretty good damage there.
The issue is, like, they're both getting, like, losing a lot of health, but Yopaj is, his spells are just chewing up less mana. So he's still got spells to use, whereas Bob, not just out of health, but also out of mana, so he can't continue to trade with this Snapfire right now. And this lane's about to get pretty one-sided if Bob doesn't get a rune. Tim's is going for this top rune, and it looks like they're trying to get double rune here. Bob doesn't... And I think Yopaj makes a call here. This is like probably some really good communication from Boom, where Yopaj is like, I'm about to really crush my lane if Bob doesn't get a rune. He comes in, steals the small camp as well. And at this point, this lane is... I'm not sure what your options are, but you're just going to try to get a couple more last hits, maybe nuke out the wave, and then have to potentially walk back to base.
Yeah, because it's about to get even more deadly with that level 6 online, like you're talking about. So,
this is the other option. You rotate in an Ench. These skeletons are just going to be food for a Snapfire. Yopaj is like, sweet, I'll come kill these.
Okay, the extra help coming in from Scam. That's going to keep him alive. And kills off a lot of those skeletons, kills off the creeps.
Yeah,
back up again.
He's got raindrops now, so he's pretty hard to gank or kill. That's going to block a lot of things up. But yeah, Bob's making the, you know, that walk of shame back to base where it's like, oh, that's just my mid lane. You know, I got to go back to base and TP. And it's the right call. He's going to be level 5 when Snapfire is level 6. So, you know, there is that kill threat that he's going to be very wary of, but I think he's setting himself up to be in the best position since his supports were too busy to secure room for him. Like, ultimately, it's just comes down to what Boom prioritized.
Yeah, and now you're not really losing out in the other lanes either. That's the other big thing. Like, Tiny's gotten a little bit extra, you know, CS compared to where he was before because, you know, the lane's pushing into him slightly more, but both other lanes are doing perfectly fine.
Yep. And Timbersoul's always one of these off laners once you get level 4, 5, sometimes even just level 3 with a second in reactive armor. Timber wants the soul XP, so Tim's making these moves is great. Again, he's looking to secure runes, and not even secure runes, he's looking to kill Bob now, because with level 6 on Sapphire, any kind of shackles is going to be a kill here.
Oh, Paulos might just be dead. There were too many trees there. 3 points in Whirling Death. They weren't anticipating that.
Whew. That's big.
Oh, man. All right, well, game going well for Boom so far. Jinx coming on in, and again, trying to make a move, but they can see, you know, this is not easy at all. Yopaj still comfy sitting in this lane and might make the rotation down to try and kill off this Ench, actually.
He's throwing the
popping the ulti? Oh, my God, dude. Skem secures the kill. Nice.
That's so good. So good. Just reminds me of like Gran Torino. Get off my lawn, you know. He's just like, get out of my jungle.
Yeah.
Yopaj doesn't want anything to do with this Ench coming to. He's just like, come on, get away from my lane. This is not where you belong.
He will tank through one of those shockwaves now from the creep that's still hanging out, but I think he actually kills it before it ends up getting anything else. So another little bit of gold into the coffers of Yopaj, who is currently not the highest net worth. That's actually the Timbersaw.
Yep.
And FBZ with the 3-1-2-1. I don't know if I've seen that one down bottom. Trying to get some extra damage there, and the Laguna Blade kill onto Jackie. That was a much-needed rotation.
Yeah, it feels good. You kill the gyro there. I think if Lina makes that rotation just for support, not ideal, but with DK close level 6-2, they'd love to get this tower. Unfortunately, I think Shanks has just maybe been leeching a bit more XP than Tina would like, so that level 6 is not up just yet. But Tina will get it and probably start poking at this tier 1 tower. But by then, Gyro will be back, so imagine, yeah, Boom are looking to defend this tower.
It was an interesting decision, too, right? They got the illusion rune and then were baiting that it was the illusion that came in and not the real Lina. So maybe how they were able to catch Boom a little bit off guard there.
Yeah, that's perfect. And, well, Execration at least threatened to poke at bottom. Timbersaw's been left completely alone up top. And with the Shaman sitting behind, like level 4, it's just about having the threat of these disables. No one can really easily defend this lane. So Palos is being forced back into the jungle. Does have the max tree grab, so he does farm very efficiently. And luckily for him, Boom hasn't scouted out any of these stacks that were being built.
Yeah, this is very nice. Took out a 3-stack there on the hard camp, and I don't know if he has any more. Ancients do not look like they're stacked up yet. But likely will be a next thing on the docket pretty soon here for Execration. Tim's, because of all that rotation, hasn't been able to hit level 6 yet, but FBZ should be able to keep the pressure onto this tower if they want to go for it. Actually, only still has that 2 points in reactive, so yeah, he needs to get more levels before he can tank the tower himself.
Yeah, that's the main difference here, but it's one of those things where he has more damage, like hero kill potential, so no one can defend this because with the Shaman here, again, you're not level 6, but you've still got those disables, so anyone who comes to defend is probably just going to feed to this Timbersaw. So they get the tier 1 tower, and we'll see where they go next. I think this is where it'd be great. Timber just wants to shove this lane out and then try and go into this jungle and steal it from Palos. The stacks have been farmed, but just taking some of these camps is going to be really nice for FBZ and also deny Tiny of a lot of farm.
And I guess you can see the sort of understanding that Execration have of where this game is going to go. Bob going to pick up a first item BKB right out of the lane with the straight up brown boots. And down bottom, another movement coming out. Execration maybe trying to make another play with the level 6 on DK.
Yep. And if you want to make a play, this bot lane is, to me, 100% where it has to be. If you go elsewhere, there's that relocate threat. Well, it's actually not up yet. No level 6 here on Io, but like this Io Gyro are just the most exposed heroes on the map. But soon there's going to be this threat. You know, there's this Yopaj Snapfire. What did he buy? I thought he had boots of travel. Oh, he does. Okay, he still had it
Yeah.
queued up in his quick buy. But...
He's getting bots too. Yeah, new build.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
First item bots too to TP. You boots a travel to onto your IO while he's relocating. That's the strat.
I like it. Show up with the whole team. Why not? Well, they might need some way to get out of here in a second because there is a hasted Lina ready to move in 4 heroes bottom. And they'll find the LSA right at the start. And silent stun kill. Yopaj actually moves in afterwards. Not able to get the range. Oh, and now the ulti afterwards, trying to focus down somebody, but they're not getting onto anybody. So Execration, they get away with murder and also pressuring top.
Yeah, nicely done. I think, if anything, Boom maybe should have just let that tower go and taken mid, because they had Shaman and Snapfire just pushing mid with no one defending this tier 1 mid. Unfortunately, Shaman not level 6, where they would have dropped those wards and taken a free tier 1. But end result is every tower gets defended. Mid is being pressured again, but Yopaj has already rotated back without that dragon form. It doesn't really feel like Execration can do a whole lot here to pressure, so both teams will kind of reset and go back to farming a bit.
Well, I mean, it is something that's sort of worth considering. You talked about the potential that Snapfire has to fall off. Timbersaw, also a hero that we've seen that happen to time and again for a while. And, you know, it might end up becoming a problem if Execration can, like, deal with the pressure that we know is going to come from Boom. But, you know, at least for now, Boom just have free reign all over this map. Taking it.
Execration will finally get this bottom tier 1 tower, but having lost top and mid in the process and giving up a lot of farm, it's not going to feel the greatest. They're still very even on gold, less than 1k gold difference, so most of that comes down to how effectively Tiny's just been flash farming the jungle, just, you know, good farming. After getting solo killed, not solo kill, after dying in lane to the Timbersaw, yeah, it was solo kill, he's just been on a farming spree. He's like, okay, you know, put his heads down and just been studying those jungle patterns and accelerating while Gyra's being pressured in his lane. So Tiny leading the farm charts.
That's what they need him to do, absolutely. And now a move into their own jungle, Execration. Palos is going to head up top here. Skem, Jackie still in the area. But no, they're just going to sort of continue their pattern and head on back towards the triangle, most likely.
Yeah, that's one thing I feel like Boom have maybe over-prioritized Yopaj's game with their supports rotating mid, defending bottom also, I guess, and they haven't maybe prioritized shutting. Basically, they're trying to secure their own good games rather than stop Palace from having a good game. I feel like this is very different to how they played against like Polaris, where, you know, they love to stack their Ancients, go greedy, play some Medusa, and it felt like Boom were playing this more fast-paced Dota. And with the Snapfire pick, I thought that was going to be the case here, but so far we're seeing a more passive early game from Boom. I think that will change fairly soon now that they're getting these level 6s. They're smoking up on 3 heroes, so they are looking to make these plays, but it does feel like they've given Palos a lot of room to farm on Tiny.
And the cookie comes out. They're there afterwards, just popping the full ulti on this one, actually. And so they definitely got that kill. They took him down.
I mean, that's honestly perfect for Execration. Your 5-position tanks the smoke rotation. Mortimer kisses get used. It was Arcane Rune. I think Yopaj probably doesn't commit them if not for the Arcane Rune. And yeah, everybody gets out while they farmed the Ancients and got out. So it's not like they even missed out on any farm.
Yeah, that's fair. And, you know, very nice move. Again, not stopping the Tiny, who is getting closer and closer to his next item and picking up that Shadow Blade. He might, I don't know if he decides to hunt at that point. Like, it still feels like you kind of need BKBs. Is Bob able to steal that Haster away from FBZ too? Nice. But there's a nice timing that they've got here coming up pretty soon for Execration. You know, we talked about it. The blink, it's almost done for Tino. They're going to have BKB for Lina. This feels like fighting time.
Yep. Looks like the Shadow Blade's coming soon as well. So Shadow Blade Tiny, I think at some point, Palace may be saying like, yeah, you know, he's not going to want to completely stop farming, but if there's a fight opportunity or a smoke play they want to go for, he's ready to get involved. The Shadow Blade treads plus Echo Saber gives him some decent attack speed to do some good damage in a fight. So they're smoking up. I mean, Hasted Lina is pretty freaking scary too. So
FBZ mid, is this the place they want to go for? I mean, it's not an easy kill, but he also has, his hood. Yeah, that's a tough one. But they again play down a ward. They're wrapping around, maybe looking for high ground. FBZ is just right there.
They just really don't want to go in a Hood Timbersaw. Raindrops too. He's so tanky. They want to get this gyro ideally. Like if they can get into the IO gyro. The problem is they don't have much vision, so they can take a guess and a gamble that he's at the triangle. But similar to what happened to them, maybe you just run into a support or they're not there and you put yourself in a dangerous position.
And in the meantime, you can see Tims and Yopaj, they're hunting. They were anticipating that somebody would be down bottom that they could find. Does not work out that way. But the creep wave will be pushed out underneath this ward. Yopaj reveals himself now. And it looks like Execration, I mean, again, you want to make a play now. If you're Execration, it feels like. Scan comes through. FBZ, he's back there to try and defend the mid-tier 1. Palos.
This is where you bring in the Tiny. He's going to be your tower hitter. Has an ink swell. Doesn't look like he'll connect, though.
Behind enemy lines, he runs into absolutely everybody. Avatos, big jump through, but
nice.
Only the Shaman. Palos now has to walk away, taking a lot of damage, and FBC completely dismantled him. 3 points in Whirling Death is so strong. And, I mean, they might lose the tower here, but that is a big win, killing the Tiny for Boom.
Yeah, at least initially, it didn't look like it was like some huge dive. Like I see him, he catches out 2, Avatos combos the Shaman. That's like all the lockdown at that point. There's no stuns at that point for him to deal with. The problem is, he still has to deal with all the slows and the kisses and all that just nuke damage from a Timbersaw. The Chakram slow was enough to basically punish it. So what looked like a pretty good way to start a fight for Execration. I think the issue was he just didn't have other heroes like diving in with him a bit. Like he needed the DK follow-up to, stun somebody or just to help him retreat. But in the end, I think big picture-wise, Execration happy to have taken that T1 tower, but they may lose more.
Thanks. Hanging on for the moment. Big old burst. Oh! Usually the creeps help you, Ench, but not this time.
Yeah, maybe Shaman was going to get there in time for a disable, but that was pretty sick. I don't know if that's intentional from Boom, but it almost looked like Yopaj was like trying to aggro it for that stop.
We need that Pango line. Was that intentional?
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, 6-3, and again, only 1,000 gold separating these two teams, but Execration looking good. I mean, I think a lot of people came into this anticipating just a quick 2-0, considering Boom is Boom and Execration is 0-5, but not going out without a fight.
Oh yeah, I kind of mentioned like this is that grudge match of sorts for Tino specifically, and we'll see what he can do. He's got that Blink Dagger up, and this is a great Lina Tiny. I mean, particularly the Lina's game. Like, she's going to scale well. Outranging the Gyrocopter, good hero matchups. Fine Shadow Shaman, not the dream kill to smoke into, but it's a kill nonetheless. And more than anything, it's just like getting map control over this bottom side of the map so they can keep farming, and they're pressuring a tier 2 tower. This is probably what they learned from mid lane, was like, okay, let's not go Shadow Blade behind and diving in. Let's just use our Tiny to hit buildings if we push. Tiny with tree grab, he melts towers.
And look at this. They TP out. No, they're not going to find it.
Yeah, they're pretending that they're like sitting behind Tino bottom, but it looks like Boom is aware and they're not even going to push. Sneaky little play, it just doesn't quite work. Boom seem to know what's going on, or they're just playing it safe, because if they knew that had happened, they would be diving in mid. They'd go for these kills on Tino, on Bob, Shanks down bottom. But
I think Bob there realized that there was a Timber because his Fiery Soul charges stacked up so high. There's like one more than the creeps that were there. That was kind of cool because he pinged it out immediately. I don't know if he saw him or not. But,
no, I missed that, but yeah, that's a good way to kind of know if you hit a hero in fog or something.
Yeah, sort of if you're just looking from the trees for somebody, it's pretty neat. Well, Tims has had a pretty good game in spite of that death that just happened. Halfway to a Blink Dagger now on top of Arcanes. But Execration ready to go for another round. Do they have a smoke nearby? Doesn't look like it. They're just gonna run. Oh yes, they do. All right.
Same for Boom. They want to go for another round, but this is a two-man smoke. They've got the shard on the Snapfire. Just Blink, Scatter Blast is there initiating, but yeah, they walk in a roach.
Oh. I mean, if this works out, this is a huge call out.
honest.
What a play.
Execration are playing their draft really. Everything Execration has done this game has impressed me. And Boom, on the other hand, like as far as what you expect from Boom, you're expecting like more aggression, more playmaking. Particularly when you see a mid snapfire for Yopaj. He's 3-0-1. Like, don't get me wrong, he's played this game well. He won his lane and has made some plays. He's mostly been killing this Enchantress or the supports, it feels like, but they're just giving Execration a lot of room to get their farm on. And I'm a little worried. I feel like Boom's draft scales very well, and in a game where both teams are just farming away, if anything, I would favor Execration here.
Well, the other thing that's really interesting, too, is it's not just like the core-to-core matchups, but you've also got this Enchantress, and Shanks has been farming. Currently, like, keeping up almost with the DK. I mean, a couple thousand behind, but you start getting those impetus shots out, and she is going to chunk away all of these heroes. And jump forward, they do find the stun to open up. Tino, the full control, but the LSA afterwards, and now the relocate. Will they have enough damage? Brought down low. Bob is going to fall, but that's only the Aegis. Round 2, though. FBZ trying to find a couple more punches for the kill, and Bob, BKB run away, but the BKB up from Jackie. That will spell the end of it, although now showing up with the rest. Palos there, Ava, toss, ready, LSA follow-up. Oh, but Yopaj jumps back in. The stun there onto Bob, trying to get the kill. Will it be enough? Yes! Yopaj able to turn that one around, and now Shanks is trying to hide. TP out, and not going to happen. Couple more hits from the side, but maybe we'll be able to walk away afterwards. It's 3 points in the heel, but it's not enough.
Just
what a turn.
Yeah, getting that initial kill on the DK, it feels like you mentioned how the Enchantress is close to the DK. It feels like this DK is a little underfarmed. Ideally, you want that BKB. If he has a BKB there, that fight goes so well for Execration. They're not done, though. FBZ maybe overstayed his welcome and gives Execration a little freebie kill. It was a good fight for Boom, but FBZ stays too long, and the big thing is there, they just really kited and baited that Lina BKB. She pops it and then tries to re-engage in the fight, but once it wore off, Yopaj is more than happy to blink back into the fight for another Scatter Blast initiation.
I mean, that is a very scary set of circumstances here now. And I mean, okay, Yopaj does have 15. It looks like they're trying to set up down bottom again. This tiny kill is super tough. 3,000 HP. The ping comes out. Tim's has also got his eyes on it. Are they going to try and go for this? Kind of looks like it.
Okay. I feel like they need a +1. Ooh, Yopaj. He needs to be careful. He doesn't have BKB himself, so he goes blinking it. I think they need to prioritize Yopaj more, especially if he's using this blink scatter blast to initiate. Because to do so, you put yourself in a very forward-facing position. So if that's DK being going on, then Tiny needs to counter-initiate on the Snapfire, or vice versa. Like, DK needs to blink in and stun this Snapfire and punish Yopaj anytime he starts these fights. Because Yopaj 0 deaths. He's played very well. Gets his team into a really good spot with that last fight, but it's still an Execration farm late overall.
Yeah. And, this next couple of minutes, I think that probably Execration were hoping to be able to use that Aegis to take the tier 2 and then control this map more. But they still are like in an incredibly dangerous position in terms of like how much damage they can do super quickly. They've got those BKBs online on the Tiny. And I don't know, we'll have to see what the call is from Boom, how they want to deal with this pressure, because it's coming down a lane again.
Looks like they're giving this one up. They're not in position to defend. You see Execration are a little antsy. They're going to see Yopaj mid now, and they'll see Hero's top. So Bob Shadowbladed up. Is he going to go look for this IO? I don't think so. The Shadowblade's wearing off.
Meanwhile, hanging out. He takes out the ward.
Lina does have boots of travel, so she can join up with her team.
Good stun to start. Timbersaw rolls through and going to get the kill. Now on the other side, Tino, Shanks, they're all away from it. Maybe looking for the backline here, though. Oh, Yopaj. Wait, they see him, though. He's on a sentry ward. Now has to run away. Yopaj tries to jump, and meanwhile on the other side, they're chasing. And the missile is eventually going to chase all the way to Tino. Bob looking for a turn. So weird fights going on. They don't have their Tiny with them, but they find Gyrocopter Shanks. Looking for a couple more punches. Do they have enough damage? Right clicks coming through on the other side. Paulos is still fighting the rest of the team. FBZ tanking through all of these hits. Bob not doing enough damage. And with all the impetus shots coming in, will it be enough? He gets the TP out. In the meantime, Paulos, I mean, he took on the whole rest of the team alone.
Yeah.
And they punish him hard.
Boom just did such a good job of splitting Execration up. Like, it's easy to walk away and be like, oh, you know, oh, they're not done. Tim's, he's blinking back in with a Hex. Does get hit by an LSA. But Boom has numbers. Away. They're going to run them down here.
And they get one. Execration, maybe not. Opage trying to get a little bit of separation, but he's getting shot. Impetus dead. Double kill for Shakes. This Enchantress is a monster.
Yeah.
And the combo of Bob and Shakes get 2 double kills.
These 2 ranged turrets. I think Boom just got a bit overconfident. They're like, oh, these heroes are dead. PC, he's back in. Snipes the kill. Poor Vincenzo. This poor Grim. I feel bad. But yeah, I think the fight started with like Boom doing a really good job of splitting Execration up. Like once they got vision of the Tiny, Yopaj just like took him on a little ride away from the rest of the fight, which meant that because this DK doesn't have BK, he's got it now. He didn't for that fight. He just got chased down by a homing missile. Even with a blink away, they just kept chasing him because they know once that missile lands, he's a free kill pre-BKB. Fights are going to look very different, I feel like, with this DK, BKB plus shards. You know, getting these items a bit later than you would like, but they're definitely game changers. There's a lot more damage output with the shard, and the BKB just allows him to frontline and not just melt to this nuke damage.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those moments where like you're going to have like so much more damage output like once those BKBs wear off. FBZ had to go for one. Yopaj almost has his completed. Obviously the Gyrocopter now done along with the Aghanim Scepter. But once those wear off, these heroes hit incredibly hard. And Shanks, not the least of them, has the full Hurricane Pike done.
So this end, I mean, you were talking a bit about getting a lot of farm. Do we see the Aghanim Scepter, Lyrical?
Dude, I actually love the Aghanim Scepter. It's so sick. So hear me out. Hear me out.
I'm listening.
I don't think we're gonna see it, but it's 60 mana to throw out 3 impetus shots. That's kind of cool. Also, it disjoints.
Yep. And like you can push yourself back to safety a bit too.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of like you have 2 Hurricane Pikes almost. Well, the Sproink only pushes you back, but all right. Palace is scouted up top. He's gonna have to bait a little bit. He's gonna
it hit him
fast.
He didn't cause the BAB. Pops it now. Laguna Blade, turn around. Jackie's living through it all. NPC also living. Paulos has to hide. Shakes is taking too much damage. Oh no! And they're all in a fish in a barrel. They're all gonna die. Not again. From downtown, Yopaj ends life, ends dreams.
Yep. Usually it's Tim's playing these, you know, sniper heroes. He plays these 4-position Mirandas up, but this time it's Yopaj sitting back and just death from above.
And Jackie that whole time with the DD, now ready to go high ground.
Yep. And Lena brought back. This puts him in a... they don't want to commit all these buybacks, and all started. Tiny didn't want a BKB just for like a homing missile coming in, and once he got hit by like the first stun, he just got chain stun down to like 20%. They're gonna try and
to do what they can. Stun. BKBs are low.
Damage.
They don't have nearly enough. Laguna Blade was back up again, but they didn't feel like they could go on those targets. It wasn't enough to force them back.
The creeps, the Enchantress has dragged the creeps up top.
Nice. There you go.
There was an ogre that was dragged the entire... They couldn't actually keep going high ground because of backdoor protection because Ench dragged the wave away. So nice little play there from Shanks, but we'll see Boom just walk their way into the Roshan pit instead now.
So, I mean, obviously a huge moment, taking that tier 2, taking the outpost, taking the tier 3 tower top. It still is very close, and it doesn't feel like a decisive win. Like, if they would have gotten a Rax, obviously completely turns the game on its head. Do you, like, considering both teams now are missing a tier 2, where do you see us at the state of this game?
I mean, I feel like it's looking at the heroes in the draft and their ability to scale, like it should be pretty even, or even Execration like feeling slightly more comfy. But what we're actually seeing is just Boom pick and choose their fights better. Like the experience is showing, the decision making. They just recognizing when Execration are out of position, doing a really good job of like forcing some of these BKBs. it never feels like Execration's getting value from their BKBs. They're either using it to just run away and live, or they're popping it offensively and not doing damage during it. And that seems to me to be one of the bigger issues here, where Boom just is outplaying them, and Execration needs to find a way to be getting the jump themselves.
Making sure that they find the right fights. And now double Shadow Blades up. Lina has the full Silver Edge completed. So there is a lot of potential here wanted to find him, but FBZ caught sight and then the back away. Yeah, but I do feel like if they get the right fight, Execration have the tools that they need to win it. It's just about getting that right fight.
We'll see if they can get there. Smoke and jumping in would be nice. Yopaj is the dream target. Gets him before the BKB.
Too much damage. Wants to get away. Right. Okay. Big hit with the crit.
Yeah. Bob taking him out. There was a very small window maybe to BKB before that Dragon Tail hit. Yopaj wasn't ready for it, and that's, to me, that's the thing. Execration need to find a way to be the ones getting the jump, but not just the jump on this Timbersaw. Anyone but Timbersaw, and it feels like anytime they've made the smokes, FBZ's the guy that they either run into or accidentally like find them, not even accidentally, but like, you know, they go on him and the fight goes terribly. So they can prioritize these other targets. IO, Shaman. I mean, Yopaj is, I think, the dream target. But IO and the supports are also always great. Like, this Shaman represents basically all of their lockdown in a team fight.
And I think right here, too, one of the things that's, worth noting is we were talking about this from the point of view of, like, seeing FBZ fall off. This is one of his best heroes, and he has put on a hell of a performance. Currently highest net worth in the game, and has the Shiva's Guard done now as well. I'm not sure how much he's actually going to fall off. And, well, oh, he misses the chains, though. That ain't good. Okay, Tim's now down low. The wards were out as well. They're leashed up together. Shanks, will he be able to have enough damage? Bob on the other side. They're trying to clear through these heroes. Palos has to back out. Shanks, Hurricane Pike gets a little bit of separation there, but Genzo is going to die. And FBZ still looking for the rundown, but out of mana, won't be able to have any follow-up.
No. Both teams will disengage there. The Serpent Ward's definitely causing Lina some problems there, where she gets BKB off, but usually you BKB and stand your ground and just attack, but with all the Serpent Wards there, she kind of just had to run away and get out of them. Both teams just losing a support as Boom really look to try and press forward, play around this Aegis, which still has 2 minutes left on it. But Execration have got to toss back. They found FBZ. I don't know if this is a guy you want to find, though.
No, broken. Right click's coming through from Bob. And Palos almost dead, but the turn wants to bring him down. FBZ, couple more hits, done. Yopaj, his BKB's wearing off. Gonna get caught. Stun is out in a couple of seconds. Do they have a relocate to get him away? It's not gonna be there. Jackie shows up, wants some help. They don't have a tether again for 5 seconds. They don't have anything else. Can they bring him down before the tether comes out in time? Will they be able to get it? Yes. Scam didn't have it back up again. And now, boom, they've lost everybody. Oh, wait a minute, though. Jackie, there it is. He's away.
Ooh, they couldn't quite enough damage. They brought back Tiny. They want to push forward. This is Tiny, remember. This hero shreds through buildings. This may force some buybacks here. At the same time, Execration may not want to, like, risk a high ground push, because if buybacks happen and your Tiny dies, that's a dieback. It could be game over.
Oh,
but
my God.
This...
Look at the damage.
Yeah. What a move from them.
And yeah, FBZ, 1,000 gold away from it. They break back door with the creep wave there. Glyph comes out, but yeah, I mean, they still have 30 seconds left on that gyro. Yopaj 25 seconds.
They may just go bottom.
Oh my goodness. Execration, after just one team fight, they go right on forward. They're going to take 2 sets of racks. The only thing stopping them from more is a tier 1 top.
Yeah, the tier 1. Love it. Palos going to... Wrong hotkey. Pops the BKB instead of the Shadow Blade, I believe, but he's out nonetheless. That BKB, just testing it still works. It's down to 6 seconds, so not an issue. There's a DD rune spawn in top.
Oh, and Radiant see this. They're going for it, too. Bob running up there.
Oh God,
they want to find it.
They just took it.
Yeah, and they don't have BKB. Bob, he gets caught. Oh no. And now Tim's wants to try and save him. Bumps away. Shadow Blade living. Does he have a BKB? He does. Doesn't want to pop it. Meanwhile, Scam's starting to get brought down lower. The call for the rest of Execration to go home.
Ooh, I thought Execration may punish the IO Gyro there, but they just didn't have the numbers, and also like Ench was out of mana. They had, was it Tiny down bottom, so they probably just didn't feel confident knowing where all of Boom was, because that was an opening for them to maybe punish, at least get the IO kill. They get to reset. I mean, why take chances? You just got 2 lanes of racks. Range rack's still standing mid, but that's whatever. The melee's the one that counts, and they've got this scary late game. Like, Lina is going to scale really well, has the Skadi, and is halfway to a Satanic.
The other thing is, like, with 4 BKBs now online for Execration, it almost feels like they need a DD on Boom to, like, take these fights. Because Gyro just, I mean, it's not enough damage for all of those heroes.
No, that's very true. And we talked a bit about Snapfire as a mid. This hero falls off, and speaking of falling off, he's going to fall 6 feet under. He's got a BKB, but with no TP, he made... Oh, he's got a Shadow Blade. No detection. I don't think they were expecting a Shadow Blade. That's a new little pickup. While a little fight's going mid, they go in on FBZ. Any BKB? Doesn't need to just yet.
Yeah, feels safe with where he's at
split
at the moment. Shanks now. Well, Paolo shows back up again. A couple more punches on Skim, wanting to get the relocate away, and will be able to go back home. Meanwhile, jump forward, stun again.
Tiny no BKB, though.
A little bit wild.
Yeah,
but they don't have Snapfire. There's no Yopaj. They cancel the CP, so they know he can't get here.
Okay. He's getting over faster with the Shadow Blade boot to travel.
FBZ pops his BKB, throws out the flamethrower. Meanwhile, on the other side, Bob is trying to rejoin the rest of the team. Is FBZ? No! His BKB, it ran out. Yep. And so FBZ's going to get caught. He's going to get killed.
And they've got more.
And now on the other side, they got Yopaj. Dead again for a minute and a half.
No buybacks. They're just going to go throne, it looks like. They're drawing lines down. One's drawing lines down mid, another's drawing lines down top. We'll see which one they go for.
Do they know that there's no BK or no buyback though?
They don't.
I don't think so. They're really close on FBZ as well.
Yeah, they may just like go try find a bounty rune or something to get that. He's gonna have it before, like, in maybe looks like 20 seconds. He'll have his buyback. So with the gold ticking. But yep. I mean, just take these outer towers so that if you win another... I mean, they may even... They've got 40 seconds. They've got time to poke high ground or try and force buybacks. That's the thing. Even if you don't know if they have buybacks, forcing them out and maybe you lose a support on the retreat, like, that's okay for Execration.
And backdoor's still down because the creeps were just in there. So they are going to be ready to go immediately. And we'll see what Boom's answer is. I mean, this is a hard hold. FBZ does have buyback now, 40 seconds. Yopaj 20 seconds away. Will they try and hold off on using that Timbersaw buyback? Oh, Execration, do you go for it all? This is the moment for them, trying to stave off getting demoted to Div 2, and, well, a win here would go a great way towards it, but Jump Forward, Hex, immediately out. They get the silence afterwards, so no shackles to follow up. Jackie trying to force them away. FBC does a ton of damage. Double buybacks are out. Another round of it, and then Bob actually just gets demolished as well. So they got everything except for 1 range racks.
And then there's still the mid racks too. There's 2 range racks.
Oh, okay, there you go.
But, I mean, Boom, very smart, I think, defense from them. They buy back with like 3 seconds left on Snapfire's respawn, knowing that if they wait, like, even if they waited like 1 or 2 more seconds, Execration may have disengaged. So they made sure they caught them, find those kills. It did cost them 2 buybacks. So it looks good killing Tiny Lina, the 2 enemy carries, but you're not, you know, it came at a cost. You're down 3 melee Raxes. You cost a couple of heroes now, don't have buyback to play around. The big thing is trying to get something in return here. They'd love to get a Roshan. I don't know if they want to go high. Like, they could threaten high ground here. They want to force
DD on Jackie.
Oh, okay. Now we're talking.
Yeah, it looks like they were able to kill 1 creep wave with the fireball from DK, though.
Got it. Yeah, they want to force these buybacks. Tiny doesn't have one. That's something they should know because of the cooldown. And Lina, if they can force Lina's buyback and kill her, that's a win condition for Boom.
Okay. Jump forward, stun there, buyback from Lina. They've already killed 1, and just down. What else they got left in the tank now? BKB used from Tino. Bob moves on in. And after those 2 buybacks are used, like you said, a win condition opens.
Yeah, they want to force buybacks and then take Roshan, which will be up in 5 seconds. We'll see if Boom scout that one out. Oh, no, he TP's. Roshan was just about to respawn.
Oh, no.
Could have killed it so fast with that DD. I don't even think Execration would have had a chance to respond. The Ench is sending out the creep to go scout Roshan, but Tiny will respawn for this potential roast fight.
FBZ is there, and I think they didn't spot him. Trickster Cloak is going, but they see him now. No Bob. Bob is down bottom side. But with Roche up, it looks like Tim's is probably going to go on in there too, I would imagine. And scout it out. They have a good ward in the area from Execration as well.
Yeah, both teams with a ward around that. One on the cliff, one next to the cliff. And Enchantress, of course, are always able to enchant those creeps, send them out to get some vision for the team as well. So we'll see how this next Roshan unravels. They try to go on FBZ, but he gets the jump first on Vincenzo. Vincenzo's...
And Libin?
Yeah,
not gonna happen.
He just wanted that D ward.
Does have the buyback. FBZ stunned, chain stunned, nowhere to go, nowhere left to go at all. He's broken, he's dead. Tino, though, taking a lot of damage. BKB afterwards. They've got the disarm. Jackie leashed up now onto both. And the Hex on the other side. Shanks is actually caught in Skim. He's actually able to get out.
Oh, no.
Okay.
No buyback on Ench or Timber.
Avatos. Oh, the big combo comes out for Palos. He's hitting so hard. And Bob on the other side with the Scotty and everything right on top of him. They blow him up.
Toss.
Dead forever. No buyback. Skim. There is no friend for you to play with right here.
This game's
and with
over,
that,
maybe.
I think it might be.
Yeah.
Oh, Yopaj found. Off to the side. They're going to get him. Couple more punches. Everybody's dead. She buys back, but where can they go now?
Do they
no
go
buybacks?
Looks like they want to play, like, maybe they're just, like, playing it safe. They know they can get Roche and still have, like, 30 seconds to just throw them, so...
Dude, how much do they respect Yopaj? Like,
yeah.
Literally one man against the world. Like, nah, we got a Roche. We don't know what this guy can do.
Yeah, and it's also... The buybacks was Timber Rasta, so they don't know about Gyro's buyback status, so if they go for, like, this game-ending push, Gyro buys back, and let's say they don't get Roche, like, that would be kind of bad for them, so... They get Roshan, and then they also get a chance. They still have 40 seconds to go push. But we'll see if that's enough time. It should be. It feels like it might be close if Yopaj makes some crazy high ground defense plays, but I just don't think he can here. They're going to get at least Megas.
Doesn't have that level 25 talent yet, but he does have the attacks used. Oh, stun. Oh my god.
Almost solo kills Palos there. He doesn't have the Aegis.
Oh, no glyph though, and in the end, there is no answer. GG is gonna be called. Execration, come on in with the surprise to take game number 1.
Damn, this is their last life, you know. They have to win this series or they are guaranteed to be demoted, guaranteed to go down to Division 2, and they come out and make a big statement. They're playing from a LAN cafe today. I think their boot camp where they usually play had some power issues. They're getting that, God. You know, that computer cafe buff, as the SEA fans say. So, you know, taking game 1 off Boom, and that is a big shock to Boom, I'm pretty sure to everyone watching.
Yeah.
The panel, everyone's just like, yeah, Boom's going to win. It doesn't matter what the draft looks like. Like, they're just the better team, and Execration played some great Dota.
It did. I was super impressed. You look at like these, I love to look at damage numbers after the game. They had 4 heroes with like 20,000 damage plus on the side of Execration. It was very much like a team victory where everybody, you know, they're stirring things in the pot all together and making it work. Made some delicious food. Can you tell I'm hungry? GoDz, we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, the panel's going to break down all the action from that game number 1.